All right, welcome to Lightroom Classic, and today we're going to take a look at why you should use sharpening and clarity at the end of the process, not in the beginning. Now, one of the issues is people always want their images to look better right away. Well, I've noticed in students, one of the very first things they do is add punch to an image. So they'll get the clarity slider, even though they don't really know what it's doing, and they take it and they'll come over here and they'll slide it up. Because why? Because it gives contrast and punch to the image and it looks better. But one of the problems that you're doing, and you'll see as I move this to the right, watch this data move this way and this way. We're going to actually lose image data. It's expanding out when we do that. And when you're toning a photo, you actually want to tone on the flatter side. You want to have a nice long tonal range. You don't want your tonal range to be real crunchy in the beginning. You're better off with it being on the flat side, so you can get the most out of your image and it's going to look nice in the end. What you have to remember is when you're looking at a screen, there's no way on the web or on a print it's going to ever look this nice. Most screens have a whole lot better image quality than it can ever print. So your image is eventually going to dumb down. So if you make it too crunchy in the beginning, when you print it out, it's going to block up. So block up is a process where if you get too contrasty, I'll make this go over, everything looks flat and it starts to look like just a big black area. These pants look like a big black area. So that's kind of this blocking thing. And as I go out here, you can see it's extending that detail. We have that detail. And then in the very end, you can always come in here and just add a little bit of crunch or pop with clarity or sharpness to get this to look a whole lot better in your image. So we'll just default these back by double clicking. So whenever you double click on one of these, it will set it back to 0. And when you're toning an image, you want to come in here and tone it until it looks good, but has a nice tonal range. So if you need to open up the shadows or come in here and use the adjustment brush, anything you can to get the most out of this image. And then the very last step, if you want to add clarity, and clarity will kind of add contrast and sharpness to your midtone areas. Or if you want to come down here, and this is in this little detail, I will tell you that all photos need sharpening. Whenever you export or save a final image, it's always going to need some amount of sharpening. Cameras come with an anti-aliasing filter and it reduces the noise, but one of the downfalls of that, especially with Canon, it makes your image a little bit soft. So you're always going to need to add sharpening. So basically, I will tone my whole image. I will come down here. I will add some sharpening. And then I will come up to clarity. And if I want to give it a little pop in the midtones, I'll slide that over. Now look, we've got detail. It's not blocking out. And we have much more punch into that image. So hopefully this has been helpful. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.